Is it cheaper to rent or to buy? Right now, I realize that if you're looking at the price for a rental and looking at the payment for a comparable home, it may seem like it's a little bit cheaper to rent right now than to buy. But in the long term, it is way more expensive to rent than it is to buy. I'm Jeremy McComb with the Whistle Realty Group, and I'm gonna talk to you today about renting versus buying. Let's talk about renting versus buying. A lot of people think that buying a home is risky. But what they don't think about is the alternative, which is renting. For most of us, the alternative to buying is that we're gonna be paying rent. So you're gonna be spending that money either way. But here's the difference. Over time, rent tends to increase over time. Your mortgage payment stays the same over time. So the longer you're in that home, the more affordable it is to actually own it, and the more expensive it would be to rent it. And that's to say nothing of the fact that while you're renting, you're getting exactly $0 in equity. Versus when you own, over time, you're gaining equity not just from paying down the balance, but also from appreciation. So you're actually taking advantage of two things to build wealth versus just throwing your money away in rent. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is 2008, 2009. I realized that the market did crash to the tune of about 33%. And for a lot of people, that was really rough and it was difficult times. However, the market had rebounded by 2013 so that the average price of homes in America were already back to where they were before it had crashed. So that means that if you were in a home that you could afford to stay in throughout that time, you could ride out that storm. So that's why my advice is, if you can afford to buy a home with a payment you're comfortable with, that you're gonna be able to stick with for a long period of time, it's gonna be way cheaper to own that home than it's gonna be to rent over that same course of time. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the weeds or learn a little bit more about the details, I'm happy to talk. Drop a comment below, send me a DM, or just shoot me a call or text to the phone number below.